going to be sitting here like a little... The next...
Okay.
So my name's Peter, I'm 52 years of age.
My name's Jane Woolley.
I have 2 children in my care.
We have 3 of our own biological children. We have 2 foster children.
We've got plenty of kids of our own and we just decided one day to foster.
But we've had a lot of other kids come and go.
I'm a single mum and I have 4 children currently.
I'm a single parent foster carer.
I have 2 biological children and I also have a little boy that I've done guardianship for, and I've got another little foster child as well in my care who's 2.
So I also have now another 9-year-old son and a 7-year-old daughter.
We have 6 children, 4 biological and 2 foster children, and this is my eldest daughter, Lucy.
I'd always wanted to be a foster carer, and when my youngest got to 2, I decided that it was time.
My wife and I wanted to look after these girls beyond just, I guess, the relationship that we have with CatholicCare. We actually want to build up the rapport with them and obviously continue to have them in our life.
It's just a lot of persistence and
Yeah.
hard work, but at the end of the day, it's very rewarding.
It's a lot of love and joy and satisfaction.
The rewards as we foster older children and not babies, the rewards for us are to see that child grow.
It's just enriched my life, you know, enormously. It's led me down the path that I was desperately trying to work out which direction I should go in, and it's really given me direction myself.
I suppose the reward for us is when they do leave our care, when they choose to leave our care, we still have contact at the end of it. We know we've done a good job.
To me, the rewards to foster care are seeing the children and seeing the improvement that they've made and that they're happy and in a loving home. That's really the rewards, and you only have to look at them and see the smile and you know it's worth it.
Do you want me to read it out? Yeah. Okay.
Foster caring is only for empty nesters who need the extra income. Wow.
No.
I'm not an empty nester.
Foster caring is for anyone and everyone.
Empty nesters can actually be very effective foster carers, but it's not only for empty nesters.
Foster care is for everyone because this is our community and these children are here needing homes.
It's not to do with the extra income, it's to do with the quality of life for the children that need the care.
So I did it because I wanted to experience being a mum.
I would say there is no extra income.
You're not going to get rich.
The remuneration you get for foster care covers the expenses of the child, but you're not going to make money out of it.
No.
It is fantastic that we do receive financial support. I can guarantee you every cent of that financial support and more will be spent on specialists, meeting the children's needs.
There's so many things that are so rewarding in the whole process, and money is probably at the bottom of the list.
It is helpful, but it's not the reason why we're involved.
Thank you.
Foster caring is only for people who have been parents before.
No, I don't think so.
I wouldn't say that, no.
There's all different walks of life these days.
I think it's nice that it gives everybody the opportunity to be a parent.
There's some people that can't have children and all that, so I think this is a perfect opportunity for families that can't have children, or single people, same sex.
If you look at the elements of what makes foster care work, it is love, security, supply of the immediate needs of food and bed and everything like that. And that can happen in a whole different range of situations.
We need foster carers of all walks of life, and it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter.
Certainly, no, not a prerequisite at all.
Foster caring has a negative impact on biological children.
No, it does not.
I actually think it's the complete opposite. It has a very positive impact.
There is such a mutual benefit to both my foster children and my biological son that they both bring to each other.
Our older children have never seen them as foster children. They call them their own brothers and sisters.
And I think it's just having the awareness of both your own children and the foster children and seeing what's best and healthiest for all of them.
Foster caring is a trial period for people who are looking to adopt.
Most people are very sincere.
People who want to adopt, it's definitely a pathway, and it's a good pathway.
You know, they go into foster caring because they have a heart for foster caring.
When you pick up a child in pre-adoptive care and you're looking after that child for the first 6 months of its life, and when it comes from the hospital, you become very attached. And it's really hard because there comes a point where that child has to go to their adoptive family, and you're not that adoptive family, that's not your role. So I would approach foster care with the understanding that the absolute best outcome for foster care is for a child to be returned to its family. And if that can happen, that's great.
We're not just trialling, the latest fantastic, washing machine or U-Butte Netflix for a couple of months. It's not like that at all. These are human beings. These are individuals that have got a life, a soul. They've got goals and dreams, and we're simply providing them with a safe environment where they can nurture and grow as young children.
These children aren't trials.
No.
Okay. These children aren't trials. They're children, and they are born already. They're in our society and they need families and love. They're not an experiment. They're not a trial period. They're real human beings, just like your own sisters and brothers and mother. And I would be horrified if someone considered that, because these children, it's a privilege for you to step in and become a foster carer. Please don't consider that it's for you to gain experience. This is someone's life.
So the question is, kids in foster care are kids whose behaviour means their parents can't handle them.
I don't think it's about their parents not being able to handle them. I think it's about their circumstances, as it is with all of us at the time, and sometimes the parents just need a break.
Often we've found that the behaviour is not so much related to how the parents cared for them, it's related to what that child has had to go through. Sometimes the behaviours come because the parents don't have the ability to be able to handle it, but sometimes that's not the case. Every situation is separate and different.
It's not who they are, it's who they are is there. You've got to try and help them navigate that behaviour to allow who they are to come out.
There's definitely very real potential there for these children if they get a chance in the right environment.
Okay. When you have a child in foster care, you're on your own to work it out.
No. CatholicCare have given us all the support we need over 10 plus years.
When you have a child in foster care, you actually have an amazing team of people.
One of the greatest things that we had in preparing for foster care was the process of leading up to it.
Right from the start, the first information session, the training that they offer.
It was a real great start to us beginning to take children into care.
If we have some issues with a child, we've always had someone to support us. They either come out to the house or we can come in here. We've never been without support, never.
We have had caseworkers assigned to us right through our foster care journey who have helped us out with every situation we have come up against.
What I really love about the direction Catholic Care is taking right now is that there's actually like a triage team of people working together to give the best outcomes for these children.
Your job as a foster carer is to protect kids from their biological parents.
It's not protecting them from the biological parents, I don't think. It's removing them from a situation that at the time is unsafe for the child.
Your job is to protect the child, and if that child needs to be protected from a parent, then your caseworker is going to have that all under control. You're going to know the boundaries and the limits.
You are the one leading the charge to bring this family unit together, and your job is to connect with these biological parents and allow your foster child to have a positive engagement and relationship.
The important thing is to work towards a reconnection with biological family. So you protect, but you also provide access to biological family wherever possible. It's such an important connection.
You don't have to have contact with the birth parents.
Look, sometimes you do and sometimes you don't. We were being guided by the children and what they wanted. And in more recent times, the children have expressed a desire for me to be in there and to meet Nan and meet Mum, and I'm quite happy to do that.
There is never once that we have ever felt a sense of fear or uncertainty around a birth parent, because our caseworkers always allowed us to know how to manage the connections with birth families.
It is court ordered and mandated that you will have contact with the birth parents and the family, because what we do know is that children need to understand where they come from.
It's hard sometimes because sometimes the children don't want to necessarily meet with their birth parents, and that's really hard to watch as a sibling. It does help them answer questions they would have as they go into their teenage years.
So you don't have to. Obviously, you can just drop the kids off at the contact visit and skedaddle for a couple of hours, but let's face it, we're all part of the big extended family.
It's not necessary to foster a child's cultural identity, religion or family traditions. I actually think it is.
A child's got to know where they come from. It doesn't matter how hard those beginnings were. It's like a part of our lives. It's a lost identity if they don't know where they come from.
We also need to identify that this child has come into your care. That doesn't mean that it has to change your traditions.
It's absolutely critical to engage with the child's cultural and religious and family history, because obviously that's what makes the child who they are. You know, I don't want them to be a clone of me. I want them to basically explore their own identity and explore who they are in this world and have that connection with their own family. To what extent, obviously, I can encourage them to do that, but I can't force them.
If you've got a good relationship with their family, you can work with them. Like, you know, I've had naming day ceremonies for some of them and brought the family in and their religion into that.
We have from early on developed what's called a life story, where we engage with the children to have an understanding of their family history. On the walls of their bedroom, they've got photos of their whole family and fun activities they've done together.
I think it's important that my children also know that there's this extended family for my foster children, and that, that's very much that they're a part of the broader network of people that are surrounding these children.
Our role as foster carers is to facilitate with the rest of Catholic Care to provide the most holistic, I guess, life experience as we possibly can.
Okay.
Saying goodbye to a foster child is easy. Well, I don't think it's easy.
It's excruciating. You go through grief and loss, basically. You're going through that whole cycle of grief and loss when you've got to say goodbye to a child.
Yeah, it's not easy. It's it's heart-wrenching sometimes, but you know that I know in my heart that we've helped them to that next stage in their life, and we know and we're quite confident that they can take the plunge.
I look at it as, yes, I'm in pain, but they're also in pain. And I just look at it as I've given them a good start in life and I've done the best I can, and that it will show later on in their years.
And even with restoration, even with going back to their own family, it's hard, but it's acceptable because you know that's where those children want to be.
It's one of the downsides of being a foster carer, is that a child, and you know, in some cases, children go back to their biological parents. Fantastic if that was to happen, but oftentimes there's conflict in situations, and so the placement obviously comes to an end. That's not easy at all.
So it is difficult, but I believe that you do it knowing that it's a reality and it could happen, and in some cases it's more likely to happen than in others.
Foster caring is a walk in the park. And all my family and friends understand why I do it.
It's not a walk in the park.
No. 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 And a lot of people mightn't understand why you do it. And you need to be really committed to why you're doing it as a family and as a couple, and be on the same page. And there will definitely be family and friends who can't do the walk with you. And you need to choose that this is the walk we're doing as a family, and that's okay if they can't join us, but the child comes first.
It's definitely not a walk in the park. Like, I'm not going to sugarcoat it.
I think like parenting generally, it has its good days and bad days and up days and down days.
It can be challenging at times, very challenging, and it takes quite a while for them to settle in and feel comfortable.
So it is a little bit harder, but at the end of the day, you got to work at it and just keep podding at it, and you get results. You do get results.
There's a lot of people who don't understand why you would do it, why you would want to do it. And I get that. It's okay. It's not necessary. It's not for everybody. Definitely not for everybody.
But it's so rewarding.
Absolutely.
It's immensely rewarding.
And it's essential. These children are here in our community. This is our children's future. So if we all don't step up and start taking that care and planting that seed every week, this is the future all our children have to look forward to if we don't step in and make a difference. So it's vital.
No, you're done.
Is that it?
You're done.
We're done?
Well done.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Oh, good.